All right. The instructions on page 64 say to solve the triangle. What do you think that means? When Scooby and Shaggy solve a case, what does that entail?
They arrest the guy.
They get the person, and it's almost always a guy, which is kind of sexist, but dudes are bad people. But also, when just before they pull off the mask, and the bad guy says, I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you meddling kids, they explain everything that the dude did, right? The ghostly sound is wind blowing over empty pop bottles. I have had many empty pop bottles in my life. Never have I heard a ghostly sound from it. Somehow, in 1969, they were able to make a projector project a perfect hologram. Somehow, in 1969. We can't do that now, but in 1969, Hanna-Barbera decided that Scooby-Doo's bad guys all could do that. So, solving means to explain, right? In this case, solving a right triangle means to tell me all sides and all angles. Now, how many sides are there on a triangle? It's not a trick question. 3, absolutely right. How many angles are in a triangle? 3, again, absolutely right. It's not a trick question. That's why they're called triangles. There is no right order in which to do this job. Does everybody understand me? Every time you approach one of these triangles that I say to solve, you are going to use the same tools, which is SOHCAHTOA and Pythagoras, but the order in which you do them is totally up to you. Do you understand what I am saying? We're all going to use the same tools, but we're going to possibly do these questions in a different order. So there's no right way for me to show you how to do it. All I can do is show you the order that I would use in this particular case. Does everybody understand? If I were to start with sine, for example, in this triangle, would you always start with sine? No, because maybe that isn't the appropriate trigonometrical tool to use on that particular triangle. Do you understand what I mean? So when I show you how to do this, do not assume that what I am doing is always the order you would do this in. Everybody understand what I'm saying? Okay. But some things we do keep the same. One thing we keep the same is we should always write down everything we know. Do I know a theta here? I do. I have a theta of 65 degrees. Once I have that theta, that gives me a starting point. There I am. There's my gray hair, which needs a haircut. Pretty soon I'll be drawing that shorter. There is when I make my decisions on naming the sides. What are the 3 sides named? What is this one going to be?
C.
Opposite, or little a, or BC, whatever you want. But when we're doing trig, that's our opposite. What is this side? Our hypotenuse. And what is this side? Our adjacent. We can do all of our work from this one angle. Since that's where we start, what do we know? We know we have an opposite of what? 41. And I need to find 2 other things. What do I need to find? My adjacent. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to give it its letter, little c. And I need to find my hypotenuse. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to give it the letter, little b. Now, all I do is trig. Does it matter which one we do first? I can do any trig that has O in it, because I know O. What are the 2 that I can do right now? Sine and tangent, right? Does it matter which one I do? No. I'm going to go ahead and do sine. Sine of 65 equals O over H. Sine of 65 equals 41 over H. The unknown is on the bottom, so what math do I do? You are going to divide. 41 divided by sine 65 will give me my h. Can I do that in my head? No. This is where I go to my calculator, and I will get an answer. Everybody good? I'm not going to write it down because I care about this part. So now I know my hypotenuse, yes? Since I know my hypotenuse and one other side, I could find the third side using Pythagoras. I could find the third side using cosine. I could find the third side using tangent. Is there any right way to do it? No. But since this is a trig unit, I'm going to stick with trig. Is everyone okay with that? Then you get extra practice with it as well. So now I've done my h. I've got an answer. Now what uses O and A? Tangent. Tan of 65 equals O, 41, over A. Tan of 65 equals 41 over A. So what does A equal? 41 divided by tan 65 will get me A, which gives me that answer. Now I know all three sides. What's the only other thing I need? I have all three sides because I got 41. I've got one answer there from my calculator. I've got a second answer there from my calculator. What's the only thing missing? The last angle. How many degrees are there in a triangle? Nobody knows this. You should write this down. Triangles add up to 180 degrees. How much is this angle right here? No.
Oh, sorry, right angle.
It's a 90. 180 degrees in the whole thing. 90 of it is taken care of right there. So these other two angles have to add up to 90, yes? You have 65 of it. So this angle up here must be 90 minus 65, which is 25 degrees. Now I know all three sides, all three angles. Is everybody good? Now just to make sure, check with your calculator that you are punching this in right and your calculator's in the right mode. Check it right now because we're about to do a quiz on it. The answers here are what? Who has one for me? How long is the hypotenuse? 45.2. How long is this one? 19.1. Do those answers make sense? Yes, this one's 40, this is 19, so it makes sense that the hypotenuse is pretty close to 40. 41. Is everybody good? Okay. All I am asking you to do on this quiz is what we just did here, but only once. I believe you only have to find angles and sides. You do not have to solve any of these triangles. So you only have to do one operation per question. Everybody cool? Everybody's calculators are in the right mode. Everybody knows if they've got a forward or a backwards calculator. Everybody's got their data booklet in front of them in case they can't remember SOHCAHTOA. All right, now listen to me. Yesterday, I gave you a minute per question. Today, I'm going to give you a minute and a half because you will be feeling pressure, even though you don't need to feel pressure, because these quizzes aren't worth anything. But you will still feel pressure. So I'm going to give you a minute and a half. 12 times a minute and a half is 18 minutes. I'm going to give this quiz out. I'm going to give you 18 minutes. If you finish early, I want you to work on the bottom of page 64. Do I make myself clear? Excellent. Put your name on it in case you lose it, but you're not going to be handing it in to me anyway. We're going to be going over it and marking it in class in about 18 minutes. Okay? Everybody's good? All right. I'll start these over here. Take one, pass them back and up. I'll start these over here. Take one, back and up. When everybody's got them, I will start the 18 minutes of time. Can you what? Talk to me after. Yes. Yes. I was actually going to be discussing that in a moment because what you're going to talk to me about, some other people have just talked to me about. Yes, I know. I already knew that, Evan. That's what I was saying. I'm going to say it right now while the quizzes are being handed around. A few of you will have noticed poor marks on checkmymark.com. Why? Because you didn't report your review mark and your quiz mark to me on your last test, like I said to approximately 100,000 times. Okay? Okay. Please. I do not know why it takes so long for one half of the room to hand papers. Go! Kelvin, you and Miss Lloyd are in charge. Because I gotta pee. Terminate with extreme prejudice. Less talky, more worky. If you don't know how to do it, that's fine. It doesn't hurt you. You have something to study from, and you should have your name on my X-Block board if you can't figure these out. Because it means you don't know what you're doing. Please follow along with your own work. You need to do two things in the first one. You needed a fraction and a decimal. I will accept 40 over 50, 4 over 5, either of them, and I will take 0.8. You do not need the 2 zeros, but if you put them there, that's okay. You need both of them to get the 1 mark available to you. Cos of x, 27 over 36, which I also will accept 3/4 and 0.75. If you had the 0, again, no problem. Sine of c is 12 over 15, which is 4/5 and 0.800 again. Total up there is out of 3. Any questions? Did I screw one up, Wong?
twist.
Cos of x
Yeah.
adjacent. Oh, yes. It should have been 27 over 45. Thank you, Wong. 27 over 45 is 3/5, which is 0.600. Thank you, Wong. Everybody good? Find the missing side, same way we've always been doing it. Theta is 49. Opposite is x. Adjacent is 10. Tan 49 equals x over 10. 10 tan 49. And then to the nearest tenth is whatever it is. $11.5. You get 1 mark here because you were only doing one thing. Computer's frozen right now, so we'll just take a second whilst we wait. Over here, theta was 62, O was 17, A was X, so that's tan again. Tan 62 equals 17 over X, so 17 divided by tan 62. 9.03, but I only wanted the nearest tenth. And finally, theta, pardon me? 9 is the nearest tenth. 9.0, it's fine. 9 is fine. Because it's the same thing. Theta is 68, your opposite is 17, your hypotenuse is x. That is sine 68 equals opposite 17 over x, so 17 divided by sine 68 is 18.3. If you're worried about it for studying purposes, missing side is sine, cos, or tan. Missing angle is shift sine, shift cos, or shift tan, if you want to write that in for studying purposes. Now, please notice I've given you all 3 sides. Does it matter if you use sine, cos, or tan? No, you can use all 3. So the only thing that matters here is your answer, right? I'm going to mix it up each one so I can do each one. All right? This one, for example, I'm going to go shift sine 35 over 37. And that is 71 degrees. You may have done something else, but you will still get 71. This one, I'll do tan. Shift tan is 45 over 60. 37 degrees. That's out of 2 there. So we are at 3, and 3 is 6, and 2, that's 8 on the first page. Oh, duh, 8 right there. Don't laugh at me, it's hurtful. I'll use cos here. 54 over 90. 53 degrees. Tan here. 3 over 4. 37 degrees. Sine here. 32 over 68 is 28. And what haven't I used on this side? You guys choose. Tan, okay. Tan, 14 over 48. 16. Making the whole thing out of 12. You could bring it up to me. I'll put it in, check my mark, and give it back to you while you finish working on page 64. Page 64 has 12 questions on it. It should take about 20 minutes. Bring them up to me so I can enter them in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I don't get a thank you.
Thank you.
Can I see the answers again?
Huh?
Can I see the answers?
Only if you promise to stop reading when I'm speaking, because that pisses me off. Right? When you talk to me, do I not pay attention to you? You just asked me to do something and I said yes, right? Even though I'm doing something else, I pay attention to you. Show me that respect. I have allowed you to get away with it all along. Right? Thank you. Just drop them. Yes. Thank you. Pardon me?
Why are there so many measuring tapes here?
Because the other class was doing something that required measuring tapes. Thank you. Right there. Second page is right here, Aiden. Oh, Kelvin.
Are they just working on the sheet right now?
They are just working on their sheet right now, yes.